Okay. Now, since the camera started, I'm going to close the door. Okay. The first thing is I should just, I don't know if you guys do this in your classes, but I should just say now that this is on video. Anybody who doesn't want this to be on video should speak up now or forever hold your peace. And I'm going to consider that to be an approval by the class that this piece can be taped. Okay. We're looking in Peah, Perek Chet, Halacha Bet. Let's see. Matt, you want to read the Mishnah?
Sure. Ne'emanim al leket ve'al shikukah ve'al peah b'shatan ve'al maser ani b'chol shnato u'bein levi ne'eman le'olam ve'enan ne'emanim ela al davar shekein derech b'nei adam l'hiyot no'medim kein.
Okay. Can you explain?
So presumably the poor people, according to the Meforshim, are trustworthy on the matanot that they receive during their times. That is to say, either during the times that those tithes are given during the course of the year or something else, and on Maser Ani only during the years in which Maser Ani is given, and not during the years of Stam Maser Sheni. And the Bnei Levi are Ne'emanim for during all times, because Maser Rishon is always given every year, and people are not given are not Ne'emanim except on the things that is sort of people are accustomed to or that is normally expected.
Okay.
So if there's something unusual, we don't have a chazak that would believe.
Okay. Can somebody give a short explanation of what ne'eman is referring to specifically? What is somebody who is ne'eman, and what is in opposition to somebody who is ne'eman?
So they're ne'eman about that these things are exempt from the tithes. That if they're seen with this produce, it's talking about Amei Haaretz.
Okay, correct. No, or it's sort of talking about Amei Haaretz. Here's the thing, okay? The temptation whenever you read these Mishnayot, in fact, I got sucked in until, I don't know, a little bit before the Shiur. The temptation is to read these things like adjectives and verbs. But you always have to bear in mind that there may be a technical meaning to these adjectives and verbs as well. It turns out that ne'eman is a technical term. I'll read to you from Mishnah Demai, bet. Can you What's that?
To make you a chaver.
Not to make you a chaver, to make you ne'eman. It turns out...
Ne'eman's in the tithes and chavers on both Tuma and tithes.
Exactly. Okay? Hamekaber alav lihod ne'eman. This is, again, Mishnah Perek Bet Halacha Bet, Masechet Demai. המקבל עליו להיות נאמן מעשרת שהוא אוכל ועת שהוא מוכר, עת שהוא לוקח ואינו מתווך אצל עם הארץ. רבי יהודה אומר, המתווך אצל עם הארץ נאמן. אמרו לו, לא לעצמו אינו נאמן, כיצד יהא נאמן על שאחרים. Okay? Rabbi Yehuda said, we say that a person who wants to be a ne'eman, so this ne'eman is not actually an adjective, it's a noun. Somebody who wants to fall into the category of ne'eman has to tithe the things that are what he eats, what he sells, what he buys, and he shouldn't be mitareach etzel am haaretz. He shouldn't be a guest within am haaretz. 1 second, Matt. I'll just finish. Rabbi Yehuda, who throughout Masechet Demai has a very interesting case, he has a feeling, it reminds me a little bit of the Mishnah in Masechet Yevamot, where it says that Beit Hillel, Beit Shammai, that Beit Hillel and Beit Shammai had different opinions about who was a mamzer. Lo nimnu zeh mizeh v'minaseit b'notehem shavzeh. Right? They still married into each other's families. That seems to me to be something like the shita of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, "Hamitarech etzel ha'aretz, you can still be ne'eman just for eating etzel ha'aretz." He seems to have some kind of I don't want to go too far, but some kind of Avat Yisrael concept in mind that he wants. You can't really trust Amei Haaretz on Masrot, Tumot and Masrot, but b'chol you should be able to eat in any Jew's home. Matt, you had something to say.
So, also they're not also developing to mind some way of even if you eat in the house on Shabbat, that you could separate sites from what we
Right, there are ways of doing it more. I think you see more in the Talmud. I'm not sure, or in the...
No, there's definitely a Mishnah
You
where you
see
say this part of the food is going to be the master,
Right,
and
okay.
from there,
Right,
and
that's right,
they're
that's
not
right.
actually mafresh. My question is this: in terms of a nafkamina or any sort of purpose to wanting to categorize any of these people in terms of their matanot as ne'emanim, it only makes a difference to people who would be interacting with them, either if they're buying food from them or if they're eating by them. can Stam people eat Maser Rishon that's owned by a Ben Levi, or eat these Matanot La'anim if you go over to hang out with them? Or can you buy from them? Isn't there some level of it?
Certainly Matnot Aniyim, you could go over to an Ani's house and eat it.
Right. I'm more concerned with the Maser Rishon.
Maser Rishon is a good question. As far as I know, only Trumot are specific to Kohanim. I can look into it. I'm not sure about the answer.
So then either anyone would be able to eat it, or other Levi'im who would be coming over to this Ben Levi would be not.
Exactly. Brett.
So we're saying the entire category of Ne'emanut distinguishes pretty much whom we can eat by and whom we cannot eat by.
Well, who other Ne'emanim can eat by, buy from, and so on. In other words, Chazal, right, had these categories. They didn't like to take food from Amei Haaretz, right, because they thought they were chashudam trumot u'masvot. They took food from Ne'emanim, right, but they preferred it, best of all, to take food from Chaverim. So yes, these are hierarchical standards to tell us, whose house would you eat in? Would you eat in somebody's house who, has a sign on the door that says, Hesher by the OU, or would you eat in somebody's house that only has the Badats? Or would you eat in somebody's house who doesn't have a Hesher in their house at all? Right? We're not sure who we are. I guess that's why I'm hemming and hawing a little bit at your question, right? The we who you're referring to may be Chaverim, in which case I'm not sure what a Chaver would think about eating in somebody who's just Ne'eman. Presumably it wouldn't be that big a problem.
Well, you don't really have
is there really any question that the Tanaim, that in general the narrative voice in Tana Tikkun, which I presume that its listeners are Chaverim?
It's never 100% clear exactly who we are, who the audience is supposed to be. Chaverim, Talmidei Chachamim, Ne'emanim. It's not 100% clear, or maybe all of the above. One could perhaps assume that we're not talking about Amei Haaretz, although we also find halachot for Amei Haaretz. So
we do, but the assumption is that no self-respecting rabbi would be an Amei Haaretz.
No, but who says the Mishnah is put together for rabbis? I mean,
several people.
People do, right? You're right, people do. Whenever we start trying to boil down what is the Mishnah, things start getting very shady. It's just not clear what exactly it is, what it's for. In any particular place, you can ask who is the audience and who is the speaker, because you have things like Shitot of Beit Shammai. Well, who are those good for? Who is that supposed to be enriching? The rabbis, the people who hold that way. It's a difficult question. Let's get on to the Yerushalmi, unless there are other questions about the Mishnah. Okay. Just one more statement about the Mishnah, I should say, although perhaps we'll talk about it next week or whenever the next time Haggai Shiur is. And that question is the last sentence. Inan nemanin ela davar she'ken b'nei adam להיות נוהגים בו, or נוהגים כן. What is that? This is just about how the Mishnah is put together for a moment. How do I put this? What's the connection between